There's a bug in my food. I can't eat this.
I am so sorry for the unpleasant experience. You're fired. Sharing internal store information without permission is against the rules of employment.
What? That's wrongful termination. I only posted it to protect the other customers. What's all the commotion?
Public security investigators, genius scientists, white hat hackers, industrial spies. These professions you only see in stories actually exist, with people secretly carrying out their missions. Welcome. The person next to you could be a private detective, or a customer in my shop could be a famous VTuber. You can't judge what role a person plays in society just by their appearance. And just like their jobs, you can't really tell what a person's personality is like just by looking at them either.
The coffee was delicious. I'll be back again.
Thank you for coming. We look forward to seeing you again. My name's Kanado Nogi. I'm a 30-year-old man who runs a gallery cafe called Tsukikage, tucked away in a corner of the city. It's a calm space where people can enjoy a peaceful time and our specialty coffee. But we don't get a ton of customers. We're just barely in the black. There's a long story behind why I started running this cafe almost like a hobby, but that's all in the past.
She comes here a lot, doesn't she?
The person who spoke to me after I saw the girl off was Yukina Urasa. She's 28 and works as an office lady for a sporting goods company. Yeah, I'm real grateful. I don't advertise much, so we mostly rely on our regulars. Yukina, were you at the gym again today?
That's right. Today's workout was 3 sets of 8 bench presses, 3 sets of 10 squats, and 3 sets of 5 deadlifts.
That's incredible. You're probably in much better shape than I am.
It's just become a routine for me. I might even be able to lift you up soon, Kanato.
I think I'll pass.
By the way, did you find a part-timer yet?
Well, I've been asking around my friends, but no luck so far. I was actually looking for a part-time worker right now. The thing is, I'm gonna be away from the shop more often for some personal business, so I need someone to fill in for me. It's not like I need someone right this second, but my sister is waiting for me. I'm in a bit of a bind.
I wish I could help, but it's hard for me to just quit my job.
Don't worry about it. Just the thought is enough to make me happy, so please, don't mind me. Still, if possible, I'd like to hire someone who knows the cafe. Maybe I'll put up a help wanted sign next.
That might be a good idea. If one of your regulars applied, that would be perfect.
Wishing for the impossible won't get me anywhere. None of my friends were available, so I decided to put up a sign. And then...
I'd like to apply for the part-time job. I have a lot of free periods at university right now, so I think I can take on a lot of shifts.
A few days later, one of our regulars eagerly approached me. Wow, really? It would be a huge help if you could work here. Please, let's set up an interview. If she, a regular customer, was really willing to work here, it was a dream come true. Later, through the interview and her resume, I learned her name was Anzu Sakata. She's a third-year literature student at a nearby university. I decided to hire her.
Here's your lunch set A and a blend coffee. Will that be all for your order? Thank you, yes.
Anzu already knew our cafe well, so she absorbed everything I taught her in a flash and became an immediate asset. With her here, it looked like the cafe would run smoothly, even when I was away. However, about a month after I hired her, as we were closing up for the day and were alone,
Manager, I've had a crush on you for the longest time. Please, will you go out with me?
a sudden confession from her. Not that I hadn't noticed anything. Her affection for me had become more obvious since she started working here, so this was it. She probably applied for the job partly for this reason. I'm sorry. I know you're a really great person, but I can't do that.
Why not? I'm trying so hard. What am I lacking?
It's not about what you're lacking. I can see how hard you're working. I'm truly grateful you joined our team. But I can't return your feelings. The truth is, I'm already engaged to someone.
No way. You mean you have a fiancé?
Yes, that's why I can't be with you. I'm sorry.
I understand.
Her body trembled with frustration before she left. I could see tears glistening in her eyes, and a wave of guilt washed over me. I never thought it would come to this. She's probably so embarrassed she'll quit the job now. The next day, as I was preparing to open, already thinking about how to find the next part-timer, I assumed she would quit.
Good morning. I'm ready for work today.
Huh? Oh, right. Good to have you here. She came to work as if nothing had changed. It seemed she wasn't the type to irresponsibly ditch her job just because a guy rejected her. I was worried she might not even call to say she was quitting. I'm glad she's so responsible. She must have been through a lot of inner turmoil, but she showed up on time. I was impressed by her sincerity. She acted so normal, as if yesterday never happened, that I was the one who felt more awkward. I was worried, but it looks like everything's fine. After that, Anzu went about her work as usual, without any hint of the awkwardness from the day before, and then went home. But I had no idea this would lead to a major incident. A few days after I turned down Anzu's confession, she came rushing to me in the kitchen.
Manager, a customer is calling for you.
What? What's wrong? Her unusual urgency made me head to the main floor, where I saw...
There's a bug in my food. I can't eat this.
I am so sorry for the unpleasant experience. I'll remake it right away and bring you a new one. I couldn't make excuses or say it was a mistake. I bowed my head deeply. Meanwhile...
Serves you right! Huh! This is what you get for turning me down with a lame excuse like having a fiancé.
I didn't notice her smirking at me from the side. A bug in the food? It's been a while since that happened. Finding a bug in a dish is unacceptable. When I brought the plate back to the kitchen, I couldn't help but feel down. We had a bug incident when I first opened the cafe, and since then, I'd always check the food meticulously before serving it. Well, I can't just stand here feeling sorry for myself. I managed to pull myself together and get through the day, but just before closing, I found something unexpected. Your shop is getting blasted on social media. Are you okay? The next day, a message from a friend revealed something terrible. What? I quickly checked social media, and sure enough, yesterday's bug incident was being maliciously exposed. It said things like, he thinks he can get away with a little bit and looks down on customers, and I suggested he take measures, but he wouldn't listen. It was full of things that never happened. The post had about 10,000 impressions, which was a huge blow to the cafe. After that, I was about to use certain methods to investigate the account, but the culprit was found surprisingly quickly.
Manager, did you see it? You must be in a tough spot now that I've hit you where it hurts, right?
I didn't want to suspect you without proof, but it really was you. That's right. The culprit was Anzu. She revealed herself to me, perhaps wanting me to know it was her doing. It seems her affection had turned to hatred after that day. It's true there was a bug, but everything else is a lie, isn't it? You're fired. Sharing internal store information without permission is against the rules of employment.
What? That's wrongful termination. I only posted it to protect the other customers. Did you know? People who expose wrongdoing to protect customers are legally protected.
Listen, you're trying to act like you've done nothing wrong, but we have all the... Just as I was about to tell her the truth she was trying to deny, someone spoke up.
What's all the commotion?
Sis, sorry, I'm a little busy right now. The person who came in, ringing the bell on the door, it was Kaoru Nogi, my sister, who's 2 years older than me. I had plans to talk with her at the cafe today, but this wasn't the time. I was about to explain the situation when...
Are you the manager's older sister? Then you have to hear this. You see, your brother tried to cover up the fact that there was a bug in the food. And when I reached out for help, he said I was fired. Manager, I tried talking to him so many times, but he wouldn't listen. So I did it to protect the customers. This is completely unfair, right? This is wrongful termination.
It's true there was a bug. She calls it whistleblowing, but she just posted it on social media, and the context was exaggerated.
Oh, I see. In that case, your dismissal is perfectly justified. What? Why?
She looked at my sister in shock, completely convinced she was in the right. My sister then continued to speak calmly and rationally.
It's true that reporting something like a bug in a restaurant is a legitimate act, and the whistleblower has a right to be protected. But the Whistleblower Protection Act only protects you when you report it to the proper authorities, like the Public Health Department. Really? By the way, leaking information on social media is not considered public interest whistleblowing. So you can't expect protection from any official agency, and of course, no one will listen to you if you claim your firing was unfair. But the bug was real. Are you telling me to just ignore such an unsanitary fact? Disclosing store troubles externally without permission is likely a violation of the rules of employment at any establishment, right?
Yeah.
So Kanato can fire you for violating the rules of employment. On top of that, if this social media post clearly disrupts business or causes a drop in sales, we can also sue you for damages for defamation and fraudulent obstruction of business. No way! And how do you know all this complicated stuff anyway? I've never even heard of that public interest whistle thingy or fraudulent obstruct whatever before. Oh, that's because I'm a prosecutor. I've indicted countless criminals for defamation and fraudulent obstruction of business. What?
That's right. My sister, Kaoru Nogi, is actually a top-notch prosecutor working at the public prosecutor's office. In other words, she's a pro when it comes to the law.
Well, I'm sure Kanato knew all this without me having to say it. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. What happened to that sharp tongue you had when you were arguing with me? What do you mean, sharp tongue? You didn't know? He may look like this, but Kanato used to be a lawyer, and a brilliant one at that. It was a shame he quit. A lawyer? No way!
I wasn't exactly hiding it. But, as my sister said, I used to be a lawyer. Before opening this cafe, I stood in a court countless times, clashing with opponents in heated debates.
This case involves a premeditated and extremely malicious act by the defendant, motivated by their own financial difficulties.
The defendant deeply regrets their actions and has already apologized and compensated the victim. My sister, who prosecuted criminal cases, and me, who defended the accused, for us, renowned as top legal minds, our greatest adversary was always each other. The way we siblings would argue without any mercy had become something of a quiet legend in the legal world. Well, it wasn't just that. I also stood in court in a different capacity. For a certain reason, I quit being a lawyer when I was 27. After that, I started running this cafe.
No way! I can't believe you used to be a lawyer!
By the way, I was with a firm, and thanks to that, my annual income was over 10 million yen. I also invested properly, so I have plenty of savings. So, I'm not struggling for money, which is why I could run this cafe while just barely staying in the black.
If I had known you were a lawyer,
It's not about whether your opponent is a lawyer or not.
Exactly. The damage on social media is done, so you'd be better off accepting the termination and settling this out of court. You don't want to go to trial over wrongful termination and damages, do you?
My sister's words made Anzu's face twist in an expression I'd seen countless times before.
No way! The bug in the food was real! I'll go to the Labor Standards Office in the Health Department. You're just saying that because you're scared I'll report you, aren't you?
Did you keep working here even after I rejected you just to get revenge? But now that you've shown your true colors, there's no chance of turning this around. In that case, accepting your termination is the best way to protect yourself. So why can't you accept being fired?
That's because it's your fault for rejecting me. I've loved you for so long, manager.
I told you, I have a fiancé.
You were so young, but you ran this stylish cafe. I really admired you for that.
I tried to tell her again, but she cut me off, launching into her own story as if she didn't want to hear it.
I started coming here all the time because I fell in love with you. I thought, I wish I had a boyfriend like him. I see. Then why would you do something to cause trouble for someone like that? Because you lied to me. You don't have a fiancé, do you? I came to the cafe to help with sales, even just a little. I offered to work part-time to help you, manager. I thought you'd surely see how hard I was trying, but you didn't accept my confession. And you even hurt me by lying about having a fiancé. This is betrayal. I've devoted myself to you all this time, so I'll apologize on social media and admit the bug story was false, so please reconsider.
I never imagined her feelings were this twisted, but even so, my answer remains the same. Ugh, I can't believe how you can justify your own actions like that. You're putting it all on me, but that's not the only thing you did, is it?
Huh?
My sister's arrival interrupted me earlier, but you staged this whole bug incident yourself, didn't you?
What? This is a false accusation. You can't say that without proof. That's not right, manager. You should take that back before you tarnish your reputation as a lawyer.
Every time I serve a dish, I always check to make sure there are no hairs or anything in it. We've had issues with bugs and hair in the past. As a vow to never let it happen again, I have never once neglected prevention and inspection. Therefore, it's impossible for a bug to be in such a clearly visible spot before I serve the food. and before closing on the day of the incident, I found a small, unfamiliar Ziploc bag in the corner of the shop while cleaning.
That could it be?
Yes, on the day of the incident, I found a plastic bag on the kitchen floor and collected it. It's more than enough evidence. We don't use bags like this here, and there were black fragments inside. It probably contained the bug. After you planted the bug, you tried to put the bag in your pocket but got careless and dropped it. Am I wrong? Looking for a bug inside the cafe would be suspicious. So it's natural to assume you brought the bug in from outside. I don't plan to go that far, but if we examine the bag, we'll surely find that it contained a bug and that your fingerprints are on it. It's almost certain that you staged the whole thing. If you don't want to be sued, I suggest you stop making excuses. As I calmly laid out the logic, Anzu's face turned pale. Then,
I thought the bag was gone. I can't believe the manager found it. Wait, do lawyers figure stuff like that out? Lawyers are supposed to defend the accused, not play detective. It's true that lawyers don't have investigative powers like prosecutors do. But actually, Kanato is about to be appointed as a special prosecutor. A special prosecutor? A prosecutor appointed through an exceptional process due to past achievements. That's a special prosecutor. Until now, Kanato has acted as a court-appointed designated attorney, uncovering the hidden crimes of defendants who were not indicated. In other words, he stood in court not just as a lawyer, but as a prosecutor as well. His accomplishments have been highly regarded by the public prosecutor's office, and they've been trying to recruit him as a special prosecutor for a long time. So, proving a culprit's guilt is Kanato's specialty. You probably thought you could trap him because he was just a cafe manager, but you picked the wrong guy. It was tough scouting Kanato since he didn't want to return to the courtroom. I came here today to discuss that, but I never expected this to happen. But I'm relieved to see that Kanato's skills haven't dulled. So does that mean you were looking for a part-timer because...
I need someone to look after the shop while I'm working as a special prosecutor. The whole reason I quit being a lawyer was because I got sick of defending obviously guilty people like you.
Please, I'll never do it again! Reconsider, manager!
I told you before, I'm engaged.
But that was just a lie to get rid of me, right?
I hadn't told her who my fiancé was, but if she wouldn't believe me, I had to tell her. No, it's true. I don't wear an engagement ring to keep it private. But you know that woman who's a regular here, right? She's my fiancé. We've been together for 2 years, so there's absolutely no chance I'd ever say yes to you. Please, give up. I started dating Yukina, who's a regular customer, after we connected at the cafe. The reason we act as just manager and customer at the shop is to avoid bringing our personal relationship into the business. I decided to become a special prosecutor for her. I have enough savings, but now that we finally decided to get married, I feel bad relying solely on her income. I was tired of being a defense lawyer and didn't want to stand in court anymore. But for Yukina's happiness, I can do my best. That's why I decided to accept my sister's offer, which I had been refusing for so long.
No! That woman was the manager's fiancé?
Anzu's face was painted with despair. The fact that there was never any room for her to begin with seemed to be a huge shock. She'll give up now, just when I thought the matter was settled.
Hello? What's going on here? Should I leave?
Anzu shot a sharp glare at the bewildered Yukina. Then, in a flash, She lunged at her, shouting,
This is all your fault!
"Yukina!"
Yukina!
Sensing the danger, we instinctively reached out to stop Anzu. But Anzu's fury was so intense that we couldn't reach her in time. Our shouts were in vain as Anzu's ruthless hand reached for Yukina.
Hi-ya! Ah!
Yukina grabbed Anzu's hand, instantly ducked under, and executed a perfect shoulder throw. Anzu was sent flying, and she landed on the floor, her eyes spinning in surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry. She was wide open. It was just a reflex. Are you okay? Wait, why did she attack me? Does this mean I'm going to be arrested?
It's okay. It was self-defense.
Yeah, and also your girlfriend is terrifyingly strong.
Despite being the one who resolved the situation, Yukina was the most confused, unable to grasp what had happened. Relieved that Yukina wasn't hurt, my sister and I assured the flustered her that it was, with our professional seal of approval, self-defense. After a while, Anzu came to her senses and immediately bolted from the cafe. Terrified by Yukina's incredible strength, Anzu stopped coming to work, even before I could officially fire her. I ended up mailing her the termination notice.
I loved him so much! I had no one but the manager! How could he betray me like this?
Anzu continued to lament on social media, but by then, other users had already learned that her public accusations were unjust. As people realized that her posts were full of exaggerations, the public's anger gradually turned towards Anzu. As for me, I properly sued her, and she ended up paying over 1 million yen in damages. It turns out that Yukina, who defended herself with an instantaneous shoulder throw, is a 6th Dan judo master. This is the highest rank she can achieve at her age.
If anything happens, we'll have to have Yukina protect you. Your arms are probably all flabby, aren't they?
Don't say that, sis. I've been trying to work out too. Wait, no, that's not...
You don't have to be shy. I'll just have to be your knight in shining armor, Kanato.
Yukina. It was just bad luck for Anzu that she tried to attack someone like her. A few months later, Yukina wrapped things up at her old job and started working at the cafe. She knew Tsukikage well, so she learned the ropes in no time and was soon able to run the shop by herself.
The social media incident was a blow, but I'm glad the customers are coming back, aren't you?
Yeah. Thanks to Yukina, I was finally able to accept the appointment as a special prosecutor. My sister welcomed me as an ally, the very person she used to face in court, and Yukina rejoices every time I uncover a new truth. We've started living together, and our steps towards marriage are going smoothly.
I can't believe the man I fell in love with is a special prosecutor. It's like a dream.
And I never would have guessed that you were so strong when you first came to the cafe. But don't worry, even if I can't sweep you off your feet, I promise, I'll make you happy, Yukina. You can't judge a person's profession or personality by their looks. The person right next to you might have an unexpected job or a skill you'd never imagine.
We just got like an Ace Attorney episode. Fantastic. Love it. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!